You did not imagine your dream. And when I talk about dream, that means it's something that you believe you are meant to do in your life or in the world, and it keeps coming to you. Sometimes it feels like intuition. Sometimes you might have a literal dream where that information is given to you. And that even makes it a little more challenging because we think, oh, we just made that up because it came to me when I was asleep. It came to me in a dream. But sometimes that really does happen, because when you understand that we experience ourselves, our lives in different dimensions, that we could receive information that comes to us when we are in our dreams, because that's when we're paying attention. That means that our conscious mind is not actively telling us we can't do something, which is typically the programming that most of us have. I'll tell you a really interesting story. This kind of takes a little journey in my life. I think it was about 2000, so about 23 years ago, my nephew handed me a book, and it was about angels, earth angels. And I thought, oh, wow, I didn't have any memory of that. I looked at the book, obviously, and I put it in my bookcase. It was a nice gift. Didn't think anything about it until he reminded me of it 20 years later. Because, see, I had forgotten that I had even received it because I never opened it. Because maybe it would have awakened me to something that was within me that I wasn't willing to see. And so when he told me that he had given me that book, I went to my bookcase and I had to search because it was hidden away. And it was there. And I said, oh, wow, there's that book. Then in 2005, I did have a dream. A literal dream, and I don't dream all the time. I don't remember them. I know we all dream, but I am not a person who remembers them and writes them down. But this time, I got up 4 o'clock in the morning, because that's, again, when we hear ourselves, and I got up and I wrote down the dream. And it was so detailed because it was so vivid of anything that I'd ever experienced. And then at the end of it, I said, well, maybe I can just put this away. Maybe it didn't really happen. Maybe it was just something that was made up. And then the last line that I wrote was, there's a deeper part of me that knows that is not the case. And I will say that's true for every single person. There's something that you want to do, something that you might have remembered even when you were a child that you put away that you didn't do, and it might be coming back now. That's happening for a lot of people because of the way that our world is changing. And we're remembering those things that we put away that we didn't believe that we could do. And so then when we start seeing everything going chaotic in the world, we think, oh, wait a minute, how much time do I have? Maybe the world's going to go away and I don't have much time to live. So let's get on with it now. A lot of people are doing that at this moment. And I did that as well. For a little different reason, though. See, people kept calling me out. Then I went through that and I did that dream. Then a few years later, when I thought, okay, maybe I'm supposed to follow this direction that I've been given, I saw a talk on TED Talk, and it was talking about the imposter syndrome. And I said, oh, there's my excuse. I just made that up. I'm an imposter. I couldn't possibly do what I thought I was supposed to do. So let me just put that away again. Didn't look at that dream anymore. Then in 2017, I had someone who was staying with me, and they needed a folder. And I said, okay, great, go in my closet. You can find a folder to use. They were writing a paper or something. And so they come out with this folder and handed it to me, and it said August 2005. They handed me that folder and said, catch up. I go, what? What did that mean? It was a dream. It was that dream that I tried to hide away. I didn't want to look at it because I thought I'm not the person to do this. And then in 2021, when I knew things were changing, I said, oh, wait a minute. I've got to do something different now because that dream was real. I was supposed to bring in work that was going to help people become their best selves. Well, it would make sense that it came through me because I'd been through everything any person could imagine, could experience, every disaster, every difficulty, every challenge. And I healed them all. And I did that because of my mindset. Not that I had it, I had to work on it. I kept developing it. I kept moving beyond my limited restrictions and limitations that I had placed on myself because other people told me, no, you can't possibly do this. That's the programming that most of us hear, especially when we're younger. But we're supposed to do something new. When we come into the world, we have to create something new. We can't follow everything that has been before. Otherwise, what's our worth? What's our lives worth if we can't bring something new? And so what I know now is that every single person has that spark, that dream within them that they're supposed to fulfill. And it's their authentic selves. And what happens is we fight that because we're afraid of it. That was it. The biggest fear that I've had was of myself. This is why I wrote the book in 2019. I had to finally put it out there to write the book on fear, because I know that that is the single biggest disqualifier for people living the best lives, because we think we can't do that. Even if we're having a certain level of success in our lives, whatever that might mean to you, maybe it's monetary, that you've created a big business, but then you still have this other feeling, that intuitive feeling again, that there is something more. And I discovered that one when I was 26 years old and I was counseling this multimillionaire, and he knew there was something else that he wanted to do. We all have that. We all have this internal guidance. We have something within us that we were given. Doesn't matter what our lives look like. Doesn't matter what we went through. And I was reminded of that when I watched a talk about Tina Turner, who died yesterday, and what she went through, but she became willing to then give that information to others so that they could live better lives. She knew that. We all should know that, because that's why we live our lives, to move through restrictions and limitations of the past and create something new. And the only way we can accomplish that is when we become willing to step into those new places within ourselves, and it's all mindset. That's all that it is. It's changing our minds from the limited perceptions we have held or that we were given, so that we become the persons that we were meant to become. And I'm saying this now and giving you this because I decided 2 months ago that I could no longer ignore my dream, and I created my work and all of that. But what I did was an interview, because see, I'm used to hiding out. A lot of us do that. We don't want to be seen. So I did this interview, and it's coming out on Sunday on this wonderful YouTube channel called Next Level Soul. And I would love for you to go there. I would love for you to subscribe and see some of the other interviews. There's one on there today, as I'm doing this, by Lee Harris, who I discovered years ago, and I just saw that we have probably the kind of the same path. When you hear something from someone who is similar to you in some way, it gives you more confidence in who you are. We're always looking for that. That's why we go to coaches and mentors and programs, all that. All we're doing is changing our minds so we can accept the geniuses that we are.
I haven't done anything like this.
It's increased the confidence that I've had in myself.
Everything is better. I mean, every single aspect of my life. My income, the progress is just amazing. Like, you can see changes from week to week.
Introducing your last development program, Life Transformation for Success, the newest part of Roger Burnley's coaching series. In this 3-month online program, you will learn the mindset tools you need to dissolve the shame of your past, discover the gifts within you that make you important to the world, and get the confidence to rise above anything that stands between you and the life that you want.
Everything changed in my life. Everything. Every single thing.
It's time for you to reprogram your mind for success and become self-actualized. If you're ready to transform your life too, learn more at yourlastdevelopmentprogram.com today.